Hi. What are the implications of IIT index calculation for the UK trade? In this podcast, I will be discussing the implication of IIT index calculation for the UK trade policy. Before we discuss the implication, let us first understand what an IIT index is. An IIT index stands for Intra-Industry Trade Index. It is also known as Gruber-Lloyd Index. The IIT index or GL index measures intra-industry trade for a specific product or category of product between two countries. It is calculated by measuring the difference between an industry's trade balance and industry total trade. The formula to calculate IIT index is I minus X plus M bar X minus MI, whereas X stands for the exports and M stands for imports. For the calculation, the UK-USA IIT index for this assessment, I have taken the total import and export value of 2023. In 2023, £53.9 billion worth of goods was imported by the UK to USA, from the USA, with a representative of 10% of all the imports in the UK, and UK export £60.4 billion worth of goods to USA, which is represent 15.3 of all UK's export. So if we substitute these values to the formula, X would be £60.4 billion of exports and M would be £57.9 billion of import. Then the IIT index would be 0.9789. The value of IIT index is always greater or equal to 0 and less than 1. If the IIT index is equal to or closer to 1, this implies a higher degree of intra-industry trade between two countries, whereas if the IIT index is close to 0, it would imply a higher degree of intra-industry trade between two countries is low. Our calculation shows that IIT indexes between UK and USA was 0.9789, which implies that there is a balanced and strong bilateral trade integration between two countries. The main benefit of this that is reduce the trade volatility and strengthen the supply chain between two countries. Therefore, the key implication is that the UK trade policy should be focused upon maintaining or strengthening existing partnership. Moreover, the high IIT index is also implies that both countries trade similar type of goods, which that UK is more resilient to trade shocks. While the overall IIT index gives an general picture, it is important for us to delve into import-export data of specific sectors to derive more targeted policy implications. The ONS data indicates that machinery and transport constitute a large part of import and export between the UK and the USA. Machinery and transport industry, for example, export X is equal to £27.2 billion and import M is equal to £19.7 billion. X minus M is £7.3 billion and X plus M is £47.1 billion, and IIT index is 0.8450. The IIT index of this industry is 0.8450, which also implies a deep two-way trade integration. The UK trade policy should promote the research and development activities to further enable growth of exports within this sector. Furthermore, the trade policy should be enable smoother customs procedure for this sector. Customs procedures should also be streamlined for import and export of chemicals, and they are also a trade in high volume between two countries. Overall, in order to further strengthening the bilateral trade agreement, the UK government should focus on promoting regulatory cooperation. Moreover, the non-tariff barriers such as certification requirement, standards, and regulations should be reduced to increase market access. Furthermore, information and cooperation should be encouraged between business communities, trade associations, and government agencies in both countries that could help the promotion of mutual understanding and address trade-related issues. Moreover, the trade policy should provide target support for industries in which UK comparative advantage over the US. Additional sectors in which trade with the trade imbalance needs to be investigated and domestic industries needs to be supported for overcoming this imbalance. In conclusion, UK can strengthen its trade relationship with the US and support substantial and resilient economic growth. Thank you.